It's Alice, and today I wanted to show you some of our hidden gems. With over 2,000 books in our catalogue, it is easy to overlook some of the wonderful books that we have to offer. I know I've done it myself, and then I get my hands on them, and it's like, oh my goodness, why are we not selling like a gazillion copies of these? But, so, here we are, and I just have a few of them, the ones that I have discovered. I know there's some more that even I didn't know about, which I'm actually keen to get my hands on myself. One of them being Here in the Garden. Another consultant said that was excellent, so I am really looking forward to getting that book soon. But these are the ones that I have. This is Hip and Hop, You Can Do Anything, and it's literally about riding a bike, but it's really fun. It's kind of like that graphic artist. And he's actually, Akala is from the UK and is a hip hop artist, and it's like all the children are getting ready for the Blueberry Hill bike race. Hip is riding fast, the cheeky monkeys are doing awesome stunts, Kofi's riding high, but where is Hop? And about these two birds, Hop is not having fun, he dreams of racing his bike, but he doesn't know how to ride. I don't think I can do it, he says. So it has this beautiful message about you can do it if you have to follow your dreams and practice. And he just goes through, I imagine you can sing it, I won't today, but you can do anything if you try, you can do anything, ride or fly, don't let anybody tell you no, focus on your dreams and go. So I think it's actually a really fun book, and this one's about riding a bike, but obviously has deeper meanings, and what dreams will you follow at the end. So this is Hip and Hop, You Can Do Anything. This is another book, Amelia Who Could Fly, and it's actually about Amelia Earhart when she was little. I am 10, someday I'm going to fly. So this is, I have a scrapbook, beautiful illustrations, and the story about Amelia Earhart as a kid. So, another one to keep an eye out for. The thank you dish. I know some people didn't really like this. I thought it was wonderful. About gratitude and where the dish comes from. It was dinner time at Grace's place. Thanks to the rain, the soil, and the sunshine, said Mama. And the little girl goes through, thank you to the kangaroos and the ladder, for lending me the ladder. This is about the alpaca who gave the wool to Aunt Grace, who said to Uncle Fred to keep him from freezing, like all these wonderful things about the dish that you're about to eat, and to be grateful for it. So this is a very sweet thanks for saying thanks. So it's a wonderful little book about being grateful. Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge. This is Mem Fox. I love Mem. She also wrote Possum Magic, which I love. But it's about a little boy, and he lives next door to old people's home, and it's just this beautiful story about how he helps this lady who lives next door to him, and his favourite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt, and she lost her memory, and about something long ago. So it's something as precious as gold, something as precious as what's a memory. So it's about dealing with memory. So he basically helps her to remember, gave her each one thing, the shells that reminded her of something, from long ago. So this beautiful story about young and old coming together. So one to look out for, Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge. We love Pipkin. I didn't know about these ones either until I got them. And this is How Deep Is the Sea. This one's obviously, How Big Is a Million, but they're very similar. It's Pipkin goes on a journey, and he wants to know how deep is the sea. So he asks his mum, and then his mum sends him off. So he goes diving, and he goes down to the, keeps going. It's just all this exploring and fun way to get, and then he comes back up and he meets the dog, and in the back here, and in both books, is like this huge chart of how deep he went and going down to the very bottom of the sea. And the million one, there's in the same, a similar, Pipkin goes, he's asking all these questions, and he goes around and asks everybody, and again you get to open up a poster in the back for How Big is a Million. These two, this is a story path, so choose a path, tell a story. I love it because it's one book, but there's like lots of stories in here. This and tells you how to use the book, but it says once upon a time there lived a, and you get to say, is it this part, you know, queen or the jaguar, and it kind of gives you some prompts here. What were their name? What did they look like? Where did they live? So then you follow the path. On one day they were riding along on there, so there's a little prompts for the next page, so you get to say, oh, that this time it was a horse, the time before it could have been a rocket. So this has got tons and tons of like stories in it, because every time you open it up it's a different one. So what did they do? You know, there's some magic. Yeah, so this is really fun book too. We really enjoyed this one, and still enjoy it because you get to choose all of the different paths you can take on a story. This one is a little bit more inspirational. Tell me a story. So it goes through, tell me a story to brighten my day. Send me a story with the things that you want to say. You know, sort of giving different creative ideas about same sort of, you know, about writing a story or telling a story, and then, but of all the letters and words that you scroll, it's a story of you that's the best of them all. So about writing, and that you could start with, you know, you need an idea or a place or a thing, sort of some like creative ideas for young writers. So tell me a story. This one really caught me by surprise. This is a cut and colour, and I glanced over it myself in the catalogue, but I got one on recommendation, and it's very creative and very fun. So you get to, there's a winter, obviously there's 4 scenes for each one for the winter, and it tells you where to cut it out, and you basically then create this picture here by colouring it all in. And we haven't finished the winter one yet, but and you kind of staple it together to create your own little own story. It's like a 3D image. Then obviously there's a summer. Oh, so this is kind of telling you where to cut and the guidelines. So spring, baby animal, when it's sort of, spring is when, you know, leaves come out, and explaining all the different seasons. So yeah, it's a really fun picture activity book. And then in the back, these orange ones, you get to make up your own 3-layered scene. So super creative for those. And there, I thought that was excellent. And there's a seasons one and a cities one too. So I just wanted to highlight that one because that was a surprise for me. So if you so these are some of our hidden gems that are in our catalogue, and if you have any questions about these or any other books, please feel free to comment below, and yeah, let's get reading.